Hey, what's up, movie lovers? Get ready to dive deep into a terrifying story that takes the chills of the black phone and drags them out into the frozen wilderness. What if the grabber's evil wasn't finished? What if the black phone rang not just in a basement, but in a
Hello?
snowbound, cursed summer camp? This is the full breakdown of a dark and twisted tale involving ghosts, dreams, and a decades-old mystery at Camp Alpine Lake. We're going scene by scene through this nightmare, so hit that like button, subscribe for more spooky explanations, and let's get into the ice-cold horror. Our story opens way back in 1957, Colorado, at the sunny-sounding, yet clearly sinister, Camp Alpine Lake. We meet Hope Adler, making a frantic call on an old payphone. Hope isn't calling home, she's calling a number carved in ice in her strange, terrifying dreams. When she finally gets someone on the line and tries to ask who they are, the connection screams with static. The noise gets so high-pitched, it forces her to hang up, leaving the mystery unsolved, but the terror lingering. We jump to 1982 in Denver, and the world is still reeling from the defeat of the serial killer known as the Grabber. We find Finny, 4 years after his own terrifying ordeal, beating up a new kid. Finny doesn't stop until his sister Gwen screams at him. Finny, now known as a tough kid after defeating the monster, claims the other boys started it. He's struggling, and his reputation is a heavy mask. Later, they are approached by Ernie, whose brother was one of the grabber's victims. Ernie invites Gwen to a concert, and she agrees. That night, Finny is tormented. He can't sleep, constantly reliving his trauma and imagining the grabber standing right there in his backyard. Gwen tries to comfort him, but Finny locks his pain away. The scene flashes back to Camp Alpine Lake. We see a boy named Felix arriving, full of hope, only to find himself running through the forest, chased by the grabber. Felix falls, and the nightmare ends in tragedy. The grabber kills him and dumps his body in the lake. But before his spirit is dragged away, Felix scratches a single letter into the ice. W. Gwen suddenly snaps awake. It was all a dream. As a phone rings, she walks to the front door, feeling a strange pull. Finny pulls her back, telling her she's been sleepwalking again. Gwen, clearly shaken, is dismissed when she tries to talk about her bad dream. The next day, Gwen went to the school library, desperately researching supernatural events. The other kids mock her, calling her a witch for her past connection to finding the grabber's victims. Ernie arrives with the concert tickets, and instead of judging, he finds her fascination with spooky stuff cool. He even shows her his grandmother's tarot cards. After school, Finny is at the store when a payphone rings. He picks it up, says, "Sorry, I can't help you," and hangs up, only to realize the phone is out of order. Back at Camp Alpine Lake, a boy named Cal is enjoying the activities until the grabber finds him in the forest. This time, the weapon is an axe. Cal is brutally chopped up, parts burned, and the rest thrown in the lake. His ghost scratches the letter B next to Felix's W in the ice. Gwen suddenly snaps awake. Another nightmare. But this time the nightmare has bled into reality. Cal's body is in her yard. Distraught, Gwen pedals to the grabber's old house and enters the cellar through a small window. She finds the infamous black phone and answers. On the other end, she hears the voice of Hope Adler from 1957. Gwen realizes her mother had these same dreams. Static quickly takes over. She turns and is shocked to see the ghost of the grabber's brother, who warns her she shouldn't be there. The cellar door opens and Finny walks down the stairs looking for her. Gwen tells him the truth. Hope Adler, the voice on the phone, was their young mother. Finny dismisses it as a dream, and they leave. Gwen finds a pamphlet for Camp Alpine Lake. She convinces Ernie to go with her to investigate, but Finny, not trusting Ernie, decides to tag along to protect his sister. Their dad, Terrence, recognizes the camp as the place their mother, Hope, used to work, and mentions it closed in 1958. After hours of driving through a raging blizzard, the road is impossible. Finny takes charge, running ahead to guide the car. They are soon found by Mustang, who guides them with a flashlight to the camp. They meet his uncle, Armando, the manager, who tells them the kids won't be coming. The roads won't be plowed until the storm passes. Gwen is sent to the empty girls' dorm. She falls asleep immediately and dreams again. A boy named Spike, part of the band camp, is killed. His ghost adds the letter H to the ice and his face splits in half. Gwen wakes up to scraping noises under the bed. Outside, the out-of-order payphone rings. Finny answers and hears static, then the chilling voice of the grabber saying, "Hello, Finny." The phone booth door slams shut, locking him in. The grabber's voice returns, saying, "Hell is not flames, it's ice, because nothing burns like the cold." Back in the dorm, Gwen checks under the bed and is horrified to find Felix. Cal touches her arm, leaving a burn mark. Spike approaches the window, but someone else breaks the glass, cutting Spike's ghost face in half. Gwen screams. The phone booth door flies open. Finny runs to the dorm, wakes Gwen up, and comforts her breakdown. After treating the burn mark, proof that it wasn't just a dream, Gwen too, scared to be alone, goes to sleep in Ernie's bed. They talk about their devout families and Hope's dreams, nearly sharing a kiss until Finny interrupts. At breakfast, Gwen shows Armando a picture of her mother, Hope. Armando recognizes her as a counselor and is crushed to hear she died 7 years ago. He then drops a bombshell. The payphone outside hasn't worked in over a decade. Finny counters, revealing the phone rang last night and he heard the grabber. Suddenly, the phone rings. Finny answers, hearing a boy's voice asking for help. The three boys' ghosts appear around the booth, their hands pounding on the glass, only to disappear when Finny hangs up. Later, Gwen and Ernie ask staff members Kenneth and Barbara for the camp's history. Barbara is rude and judgmental. When Gwen asks about the 3 dead boys, Barbara coldly says, "Good Christian people don't discuss such horrible matters." That night, Gwen dreams of Hope, who is also talking to the dead boys. The ghosts ask for help. Gwen follows Felix to the forest where red feathers fall and she finds his jacket. Spike watches as an axe splits a tree trunk, pouring out blood. Gwen wakes to a slammed dorm door and a glimpse of her mother. She follows Felix to the mess hall and is drawn to the kitchen where the ovens open, revealing huge flames. The grabber's ghost appears and attacks Gwen with an axe and a belt. The adults rush in but can't see the ghost as Gwen is thrown against the wall, on the table, and toward the ovens. Ernie and Mustang manage to pull her back. Finny bursts in, and the grabber vanishes. Gathered in the chapel, Gwen describes the boys. Armando confirms the description and shows them a picture from the last year the camp was open. Hope is there, and Finny is shocked to see the grabber among the staff. Armando explains he was a maintenance guy, nicknamed Wild Bill Hickok because of his belt. Gwen realizes the initials WBH match the letters on the ice. The camp is where the grabber's killing started. Finny connects the dots. The weird thing started 4 years ago when he killed the grabber. His spirit was set free to return here. They conclude they need to find the boys' bodies to set their spirits free. Armando goes to his office and hears a noise. A snowman is outside, then his radio fills with static. The grabber's voice hisses, "You made me kill my brother." The lights go out. Armando grabs a flashlight, and a mask made of blood and snow appears on the window. The voice says, "I want to hurt you." Armando calls him Bill, but the grabber angrily screams, "That isn't his name," before pounding the glass and disappearing. The next evening, Finny and Ernie watch over Gwen. She dreams of a paperboy named Billy, the grabber's first victim in town, confirming Hope, her mother, recognized the killer as Wild Bill. The dream shifts. Gwen watches Hope follow her to the grabber's house. Hope finds a kid in the cellar, but is captured by the young grabber. The ghost grabber takes Gwen, saying he wants her to know the truth. They stop at her home, and Gwen witnesses the horrific scene. Her mother didn't take her own life. The grabber killed her and staged it. Gwen runs, ending up in the cellar. The phone rings, and Felix tells her to hide. She finds a hole in the wall leading to a door. The grabber slashes her arm with the axe, and she bleeds in the real world. Ernie alerts the others. Gwen manages to open the door and runs to the lake. The payphone appears and rings. The grabber says he must defend his power. He appears behind Armando, who is searching the ice, and pushes him into the freezing water. Gwen can't open the booth. She punches Finny in the real world, and the grabber breaks the glass, using the phone cord to choke her. The group keeps yelling at Gwen to fight back. In the dream, she hears their voices on the phone, concentrates her power, and the booth explodes, throwing the grabber back. "In dream, I have power too," she declares, headbutting the spirit before finally waking up. They rush to the lake and rescue Armando, who confirms he found Felix's body. They return to camp and find Terrence, their father, who has arrived with a snowplow. Gwen refuses to leave, saying she must end this. She tearfully tells her father and Finny the truth about Hope's murder, finally convincing them to stay. The next day, the search continues. Gwen falls asleep, and the grabber appears, skating on the lake. He attacks Kenneth and Barbara, slashing them with his axe. Gwen falls through the ice and sees barrels underwater. She kicks them open and finds the bodies of the last two boys. The grabber tries to choke Finny with his belt. Terrence jumps in to help Gwen bring the barrels to the surface. As the victims' souls are released, Gwen starts praying. In the dream, the bodies emerge, grabbing the grabber's ankle. The three souls block his escape. Gwen hits him with the axe and removes his mask. Finny appears and repeatedly smashes the killer's head on the ice. Gwen chops off his leg, and they throw the grabber into the lake, where the three boys' souls push him down to his final death. Gwen wakes up and kisses Ernie. The mystery is solved, the boys are found, and their souls are finally free. As they are about to leave, the payphone rings one last time. Gwen answers and hears her mother, Hope, who congratulates her for saving the kids. She tells Gwen the dreams aren't a curse, but a gift, and says she loves her children. Gwen passes the message to Finny, and the siblings finally leave the cursed camp with their dad. What a terrifying journey. This story truly pushes the boundaries of the original Black Phone with a chilling twist on the grabber's continued evil. The connection between Gwen and her mother, Hope, gave this tale an emotional core that was just as impactful as the horror. What was your favorite scary moment? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more deep dive movie explanations just like this. Thanks for watching, and stay spooky.